Welcome back to another training video on stacking the deck. Previous videos I taught you the suit order, chased, CHSD, clubs, hearts, spades, diamond. You'll need to know that order to move forward in this. I also taught you the 8 kings stack in another video. That's a good one to start with. And I'm going to show you the stack that most magicians use, most professional magicians are familiar with, one called Stebbins. Invented, I think, 100 years ago. I'm pretty sure that's true. And that's what you're going to learn now. Now, the Stebbins stack is not a poem like the 8 kings. 8 kings was that 8 kings threatened to save 95. We don't have to memorize a poem. With the Stebbins stack, we're going to do a little bit of math. But it's easy math. Also, because this stack is mathematical, there's way more things you can do with this than with the 8 kings. Because the math makes numerical patterns to make it easier for you to find cards in incredible ways. But we're going to not go down that road because there's years and years of study you can do just with Stebbins. I'm just going to show you how to get started with it. And in a couple of videos, I'm going to show you some astounding things you can do with the Stebbins stacked deck and a web app. That's coming up soon. First, let's talk about the stack itself and how you learn it. Okay, again, the suits are going to be chased, clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, so we don't need to go over that. We're always going to use chased. But the order of the cards is mathematical. We're going to start with the ace because that's a 1. And so the stack goes like this. Whatever the card is, the next card is going to be 3 away. So we add 3 to the previous card. In other words, the ace is a 1. So if we add 3 to that, the card that comes after the ace is a 4 because 1 plus 3 is 4. Notice that it's the 4 of hearts. Why is that? Well, because we're going clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. So you know the next card's a spade. But what card is that going to be? Well, if you add 3 to 4, you're going to get a 7 because we're going by 3, right? The ace, the 4, and the 7 are all 3 apart. Clubs, hearts, spades. The next one's diamond. 7 plus 3 is 10. So the next card in the stack is the 10 of diamonds. And you can probably figure it out from here. It gets a little bit harder with the court cards, and I'm going to show you that here in a second. It takes a little bit of memory work. 10 plus 3 is 13, and you have to remember that the jack, the queen, and the king are also numbers 11, 12, and 13, respectively, right? So if the 10 plus 3 is 13, that means the next card's a 13, or in other words, a king. And in this case, the king of clubs, because it's following a diamond. And then the king is the last card in the number order, right? We're going 1 through 13, 1 through 13, 1 through 13. So when you get to the king, the math's a little weird. We're going to add 3 to that. Well, 13 plus 3 is 16. We don't go to 16. We have to start over. And so when we get to the king and we add 3, we're actually just going to 3 because the king is the last card in the deck. So now we've got ace, 4, 7, 10, king, 3, all of them 3 apart. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts. Now, it's hard to do that math sometimes. In my head, I know I have to go, a king is a 13, and I'm starting over. I don't do all that. I just remember kings and 3s always go next to each other. It's that simple. I can remember that. I can remember a king and a 3. The rest of it, I can do the math. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7, that's all easy. The king and the 3 are buddies. However you want to picture that in your head, I picture the king and the 3 being friends. They're always next to each other. Let's move on. It gets easier because the 3 plus 3 is a 6. There's a 6 of spades. Plus 3 is a 9. Plus 3, now we're getting into the court cards. 9 and 3 is 12, and you remember that a queen is 12. And again, we have to do some math. 12 plus 3 is actually 15. We don't have 15 cards. It ends up being a 2. And rather than do the math, you might just want to remember this. The queens and the 2s are buddies, just like the kings and the 3s are buddies, right? Here we have a king of clubs and the 3 of hearts. The next pair down here, queen of clubs and 2 of hearts. Notice the pattern in the suits too. That's going to make more sense in a minute. All right, so when we get to the queen, we're going to go right back around to the 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 of spades. Plus 3 is what? 8. 8 of diamonds. Plus 3 is what? It's 11. Remember who's 11? Jack is 11. And so there's our jack of clubs. Now again, the court card's a little bit weird, so I just memorized them. I remember that the king and the 3 are buddies. I remember that the queen and the 2 are buddies. And I remember that the jack and the aces are buddies because that's what it turns out to be. Since a jack is 11, we add 3, we come back around in the circle to the 1 or the ace. So this is where it gets a little bit more advanced. So adding 3 is good, but sometimes it's hard to add 3 when you're going in a circle. King goes to 3, queen goes to 2, jack comes back around to the 1 or the ace. The rest of it's easy. And we're back to the ace. Ace plus 3 is 4. There's our 4. Plus 3 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. Plus 3 is a 13 or a king. So there's our king. Remember, kings and 3s are buddies. So we know the next one's a 3. And then we get to 6 because 3 plus 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. That's also called a queen. And who's the queen's buddy? It's the 2. If we have a queen of hearts right here, the 2 must be a spade, right? 2 of spades. So it's starting to make more sense maybe for you. This is how you learn it, though. I know this might not be the fun part because there's some amazing magic you can do with this. But this is kind of like learning scales. If you're learning to play an instrument like your guitar or your piano, this is the part where you have to learn how to stack the deck and memorize it. And so this part's not as fun, but it will pay off because there's some amazing stuff you can do with this. Okay, so we left off at a 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. There's our 5 of diamonds. Plus 3 is 8. There's our 8 of clubs. Plus 3 is 11, which is a jack. Jack goes with an ace because they're friends. There's the ace of spades, right? So it continues on. I'll just finish the deck. There's the 4. Plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 3 is king, plus 3 is 3, because we started over, 3 of diamonds, plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12. Now we're at the 2 of diamonds. Let me move these over here so you can see them a little better. 2 of diamonds, what comes after 2 would be a 5 of clubs, right? After the 5 of clubs is going to be an 8 of hearts. If we add 3 to that, we're going to end up with a jack of, you say it, spades, right? And then add 3 to that, it's an ace. What comes after the spade? It's going to be a diamond. There's our ace of diamonds. Next is going to be a club. Which one? 4 of clubs, right? And then we have plus 3 is 7. 7 hearts. Plus 3 is 10. Plus 3 is king. There's our king of diamonds. We're almost done. Next one is a 3. The kings and the 3s are buddies. King of diamonds is friends with the 3 of clubs, right? There you go. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12. Queens love 2s, and that queen of diamonds likes the 2 of clubs. And then we've got the 5 of hearts, 8 of spades, and the jack of diamonds. So this is a whole size Stebbins stack from ace of clubs all the way to the jack of diamonds. But there's something else about the stack I just want you to notice, and this will make sense in future uses of the stack. This is why this stack is so powerful, because it's mathematical. You'll notice there's some patterns in here. Since we're using math instead of a poem, since we're using math, what happens is there is a pattern here. Here's what I mean. Let's start with just the clubs. Let's look at just the clubs, and I'm going to call off the clubs to you. See if you notice the pattern. I'm going to skip just to the every fourth card is going to be a club because there's 4 suits. So I have ace of clubs, king of clubs, queen of clubs, jack of clubs, 10 of clubs, 9 of clubs, 8 of clubs, 7 of clubs. Have you noticed yet what's happening? I'm going down from ace. I'm like king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8. What's the next club you think? It's going to be a 7 of clubs. The next club in the deck is going to be a 6 of clubs. The next club in the deck will be a 5 of clubs. It's just going down to the next one. This is why the size Stebbins is powerful. What comes after the 5 of clubs? Well, not the card after the 5 of clubs, but when's the next club? The next club is a 4 of clubs, and then 3 of clubs, and then 2 of clubs, and it keeps going down until we get back around to the ace of clubs. Every suit does that. I'll show you what I mean. Let's try it with the hearts. Here I start with a 4 of hearts at the top of the deck, and then I go down. The next heart is 3 of hearts. The next heart is a 2 of hearts. What do you think the next heart is going to be? If you said ace of hearts, you're right. And then it goes down again or back around to the top to the king of hearts. The next heart is a queen of hearts. The next heart, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 of hearts, 5 of hearts, and then we're back to the 4 of hearts. All of the suits do that as well. If we did it with the diamonds, we'd go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace, king, queen, jack of diamonds. All in reverse order. All of the suits do that. So you don't need to know why that happens yet. You just need to know that it happens and that there's a reason behind this madness called Stebbins. So what I want you to do, if you're ready to learn the Stebbins stack, get out your deck, get your brain ready to do simple calculations. All you have to do is add 3 and get set up. I'd start with the ace of clubs just to make it easier. But you can start with any card too. You'll eventually get there. Because remember, a stacked deck can be cut. So we can cut the cards all we want and they're still in order. We just don't want to shuffle them. We'll have to do false shuffling if we do that. But if I can cut the cards or have somebody else cut the cards, as long as I know what one of the cards is, like the bottom card, in this case is the King of Hearts, I'm going to know what the next card is. The card on top is a 3. Remember that kings and 3s are friends, so I know the top cards without even looking at it. I know the top card's a 3. And I also know the suit because I know my chased order, right? So I know it's a 3 of spades, and so without even looking at it, there's my 3 of spades, right? And in fact, because I know that's the 3 of spades, I know the next one's a 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. I know the next one's a 6. And then a 9, and then a queen, right? But what's the suit? If this is a 3 of spades, which 6 is this? It has to be the 6 of diamonds, doesn't it? According to chased. And then the next one has to be a 9 of clubs. And the next, before I'm even looking at it, the next one has to be a queen of hearts, right? Okay, so that's why this is powerful. I'm going to cut the deck. I can take a glimpse, put the deck down. Now I know the order of this deck. I saw a 5 of clubs on the bottom. Can you tell me what's on the top? Well, if you said 8 of hearts, you're catching on because that's what's on the top of the deck now. Because I had a 5 of clubs plus 3, which makes it an 8, and then a heart comes after a club. So set up your Stebbins deck. It'll take some time to learn that, to do a little bit of math, and get used to those partner cards. I think it's easier if you work with the court cards, like I said, kings and 3s, queens and 2s, jacks and aces. That will help you memorize this a little better. Not really memorizing too much. What you're really doing is doing some math, because that's how Stebbins works. So hang in there, learn it, and I'm going to show you a really, really cool thing you can do with your Stebbins stacked deck. That's hard to say.